Hey guys, welcome to the woods. It's beautiful right now. Little tiny bit of drizzle happening, but I figure I'm gonna take my coat off because it's getting hot. And anyways, raining this morning, it's gonna rain this afternoon, so let's get this done. So I have a sense of things, but I don't have a lot of clarity, so hopefully this sort of rolls and makes sense. All right, I talked yesterday about mass meditation. So mass meditation is a really powerful thing that I think that we could use that power for good. So mass meditation, all of us watching television, or let's just say television, the items in the grocery store, the items at the cash register, the items on the news, things like that. We as a human species tend to be very focused, and I always talk about the lean a little bit. I like to lean a little bit away from that and lean in another direction that I'm going to try to clarify. There's a direction of group conscious, mass meditation, hypnotic thinking that we don't have much control over our bodies and our health. Doctors have it. I'm not picking on doctors because really they're put into a funky paradigm when we come in with this mentality of, you've got to fix me. That pill wasn't good. You got to give me something else. You got to give me something else. Never is it accountable for what am I doing that's inviting this struggle into myself. And that concept in itself sort of gives people a little bit of struggle. It's like, you're saying I wanted this terribleness? You're saying I totally can tell you I don't want it. So I get that. This is deep stuff. But anyway, so you just got to hold it and play with it. But acceptance, you may not want it, but accepting it, let's just start there. All right, so back to my point of mass meditation. Why would we want to focus people on the fact that you have no control and that there's outside source things that are going to wreak harm on you and be, whatever. So my point would be this. We are definitely a little bit focused towards problems with the human being. Our sicknesses, cancers, everybody wants to be on the cancer bus, everybody wants to be part of the suffering, everybody wants to be, being sympathetic is like gone to the point of oh my gosh, I know it's terrible, so-and-so died. No, I had a great run with my parents. Didn't tear me up. I knew that was coming. I know they're in a good spot. I walk through the woods and talk to my dad now more than I did when he was alive. Maybe we have more real conversations. How about that? Anyway, so we're very leaning towards the problems of things outside of ourselves, the helplessness of ourselves, the wrongness of ourselves, the sin of ourselves, all the things that are going wrong, all the things to watch out for. What's the latest in fixing us and making us better? We need something outside of us to bring us betterness, better living through chemistry. I like to say that term sometimes, but it's like, if it's anything outside of ourselves, it's not. And the things that come to us from out, you could say, well, these things have come from outside, Dan, that you've talked about, and you say they're good, technology's good and all that stuff. Yes, but they didn't come from an alien and given to us. It came from us. Not because man was smart, aliens aren't, but it's all us. The aliens, the galaxy, the universe, it's all us. There's nothing out there to harm us. There's nothing out there to it's all what we invite in. It's all for our experience. It's all for our growth. It's all things that we chose. It's all things that we knew about. We knew this was coming. So how about if we just, don't worry about some of those details you might feel uncomfortable with, but just let's lean our mass meditation in a little bit of a direction of what could humans accomplish if they took responsibility for everything that's going on and said, you know what, I'm going to move away from fear and move towards love. What is the power of love? We don't do much scientific study on that because there doesn't seem to be any money in it. But that's not blaming anyone for doing anything, because it's all perfect. It's just, again, part of that 24,000 year cycle of the planet going around the galaxy. It has different influences, different vibrations. And from the time of Jesus, which is our lowest vibration, our most disconnected, hard to get reception, tuned in, tapped in, turned on, was very difficult. So he was an awesome in his, obviously he was, doing things that we could never understand, how he could perform all those miracles and all that type of stuff. But he did it at the most difficult time, which makes it all even more impressive. But also at a time when he's like, hey, we're heading up. Your heaven on earth is coming. What I'm doing, you're going to do. These things I do and more, you will do. If you had the faith of a mustard seed, you could move mountains. He's basically saying, it's all love. You're forgiven. Move on. Good things are coming. Right? Isn't that really his message? And that's where we are. Other sources are all saying the same thing. We're climbing up out of the low vibration, disconnected, and we're getting tuned in, tapped in, turned on. It's so much easier. Let's just try it now. It was difficult before. In the past, history was like, you got no control over your life. I own you. You're doing it wrong. Do it my way. You're an idiot. Do it my way. I've got a book I can learn, but you're too stupid to learn. I mean, it was all sort of, we were very separated, and there was the better people and the worser people, and we could step on the worser people because that's what God told us we could do. So it was a weird interpretation of everything. And our interpretation of Jesus got a little bit convoluted and all that stuff too. But back to those ones I just said, it's just saying you're forgiven. It's okay what you've done. Not because you gotta this is how you get forgiven, this is how you earn forgiveness. No, just you're forgiven. And that you are an infinite, all-knowing, creative being that came from God, going back to God, and heaven on earth is coming our way. We're coming up in our vibration. And good time to be alive on the planet. So we're gonna start watching it happen real fast. Time goes faster too. Everything starts happening quicker and quicker and quicker. We're like quadrupling what we know about all things. Science is growing, psychology's growing, medicine's growing. What are the other ones? You can guess them. So there's so many things that are growing so quickly right now that we can't even keep tabs on it anymore. The number of patents that are being put out there, we could have a few segments just on that kind of stuff, what's coming our way. So it's not time to be based in fear and small thinking. It's time to be based in love and big thinking. Who can we be? What are our possibilities now that we're in this higher vibration? What would a mass meditation of tuned in, tapped in, turned on being like? It's not going to be about religion and rules, I can tell you that. It's about envisioning who you really are, and let's stretch yourself. Your body has all the infinite power to handle anything that this planet could give it. You can surpass death if you want to. You can bring others to life. Jesus wouldn't have worried about the coronavirus. He would have said the same things I'm saying. Love on yourself, the same things you always do. Don't focus on the symptoms. Focus on the beauty and the health and the love and the vitality and what you have to give to the people around you. But you can't give to people what you don't own for yourself. You gotta love yourself in order to love anybody else. To the degree you love yourself is the degree you can allow others to be who they want to be. Can I be who I want to be? Am I a co-creator? Am I made in the image and likeness of God? Am I going to do the great things that Jesus has done? When I own that, then I can truly allow others and encourage others to do it, right? So let's play with one last concept. So we've touched on this a few times, and I feel like sometimes you go through this stuff and you feel like, I opened up a lot of boxes that I don't normally get into conversations with people, just sort of like, I don't know who's listening, and I don't know if you're really following that, because sometimes you can tell when someone has a struggle with something, they want to sort of deviate the conversation or whatever. And then I would back off it a little bit and sort of, dabble it in little bits and play these little games to help somebody pass their point where they say no. Remember, I used to always say that point of say yes to everything. Say yes to these general ideas. They might not make sense, but you carry it with you for a while, and then you see if something doesn't happen later, and you're like, it starts to add up, and next thing you know, you're more loving, and there is nothing else. Sick or not sick, it doesn't matter. Are you loving on yourself and everyone around you? That's all that matters. All right, so this other point I wanted to develop. Where did we come from? What's the advantage or disadvantage to being here on Earth, and where are we going? Okay? One thing I want to get out of the way is that you starting as a child and learning and growing and developing and getting a better sense of yourself and eventually being a being who's all about giving to others and things like that, that progression line, there's, you know, if you do childish things and you say, well, I'm 20 years old, I shouldn't be doing childish things, so that's a sin and that's something I've done wrong and I've got to make up for that, and I'm going to be punished when I die because I did those terrible things when I was, you know, in my early 20s. And it's like, you look back at a 3-year-old and you say, well, if a 3-year-old, you know, is very self-centered and won't share and is mean and punches other kids, you say, that's a 3-year-old. But not as a young man, as an adult, you shouldn't be doing that. Well, that just means whatever the adult is still dealing with the 3-year-old issues. So he needs to go back and love on himself. You can't say, well, that was just terrible. Let me put you in jail, tell you what you've done wrong. Are you sorry for what you did? You know, it's like they don't have any idea. All they're doing is beating on themselves, and I'm taking a bat and beating them down too and saying, you're just bad. You're just bad. God's going to come and tell you how bad you are. That concept of somebody doing something wrong while they're here, it's a reflection of who you think you are. It's not even a reflection of who you are. It's a reflection of who you think you are. I'm encouraging you to think of yourself as this big light ball that you are. We know that. Scientifically, we know you're just a big energy ball. Your brain's activities happen out here, and they commingle with everyone else's brains. And all energy and vibration on the planet, all life, is one big vibration of God. But it's not just this planet, it's this galaxy, it's this solar system, it's the universe. It's all powerful and so awesome and so much more than we can conceptualize on this plane. We're really we're in totally like walking in the dark. And when you turn the light on, you go, whoa, we're in a movie set and all this stuff going on here. And wow, I didn't realize all this was going on. I had these little struggles with people in the dark. But anyway, so where do we come from? What are we doing here? Where are we going? Back to that. You came from the God source. I think that's the easiest way to put it. You came from the God source, all-knowing, infinite. And you come down to be birthed into this lifetime. Now, a couple things that are kind of fun and interesting about that I don't think a lot of people, maybe some people don't integrate, is that you come down in groups. But maybe I drop in as a dad, and then my children pop in, but we were all sort of vibrationally working things out before. Or we've been here before and we've worked things out. Maybe you were my spouse before, now you're my child. Maybe you were, you know, all these different things. And if you had a struggle with somebody and in your lifetime, you had a struggle with somebody and you go back to life after death and you're much more in tune, tapped in, turned on. There's still levels, even after you die, there's levels of understanding. It's not like school where you learn them, but you vibrationally have to change, which is what has to happen here. If you want to know how you allow sickness to happen in your body and how your body has the power to heal itself of anything, you have to vibrationally own that information. I can't tell you. I mean, me telling you is like a vibrational download. It does help, but you've got to search that out, and you know it gets complicated. Doesn't mean the paradigm isn't there. It's just I'm saying, you're probably not. If you got cancer, you're probably not going to heal yourself. But you know, what's the placebo thing about? 30% of the people do heal themselves of everything all the time. And you know, schizophrenic with one person comes in and they've got a mole on their face, and the next person comes in, they don't have the mole on their face. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff that happens out there that we just can't really. We just sort of put that in the unknown box. I'm telling you, pull all that unknown into your pile here. Start playing with the unknowns and go, there is something going on here. Where did Einstein get all his information? Where did Tesla get all his information? They came in with it. Where did all the great artists, you know, in the Renaissance times and the musicians and stuff, they came in together. They knew each other. They didn't all get along necessarily. There was a little competition and things like that, but they brought us that high vibration of knowledge about where music could go and you know, and all those things. And then the engineers brought in certain things, and Tesla came in with his energy understandings of electricity and all that at a certain point because of our readiness to take that information and all that kind of stuff. So there's group incarnations. So we come in Nothing here we need to accomplish, but we came with a personality, something we wanted to share. So all we want to do is get out of everybody's way and say, how are you going to shine? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to be? Oh, you think you did something wrong? No, forget about that. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Yes, you're worthy of being who you want to be. Yes, you're worthy of being anything you want. Yes, you came here with a desire to be something loving, great, famous, rich. That's irrelevant. Are you loving? If you're loving and you're giving, then things come to you. You know that. It's like the power of manifestation. Just be loving, be giving, and things come to you. That's the way the world works. So you're down here on this plane, and nobody checks in or checks out without their knowing. And you generally know who you're kind of coming in with, and you know you have a certain preference, a personality that plays out into your life. I'm really a go-getter, or no, this is my rest. I'm going to come down for a lifetime, hang out with some really good parents that are so super easy on me, and I'm just going to chill, and maybe halfway through my life I'll take up music or something. You know, that's some people's vibration. Then the guy who's all about doing is like, you're so lazy, you're so lazy. It's like, no, who do you want to be? You want to be the guy who's sitting and watching? Sit and watch, it's okay. Just do it with some sense of purpose and some love and acceptance and all that type of stuff. So where are we going? We're going to wrap this up. Where we're going and why this is important. So where we're going is back to enlightenment and perfection. But when you bounce back, you're going to still be at a certain gradient of where you are vibrationally, just like you are here. The magical part about being here on Earth now is that you get to intermix with people at different vibrations. And by being mixed with different vibrations, so like let's say molecules have different vibrations at different temperatures. You got a 60-degree molecule and you got a 70-degree molecule. Out in space after you die, which you don't know you're in space, it's like a dreaming. But in your dreams, you can only dream at a certain vibration. If you're panicked all day, you're gonna have panicky dreams. If you're loving all day, you're gonna have loving dreams. That's what I'm talking about. So love all day here on Earth, and your after dreams will be blissful. Now you carry a sense of a certain dream before you came here, and you got a little dream of something you'd like to have happen. And you've got more clarity and understanding, of course, too. So when you pop back up, you're not able to mix. 70 and 60-degree molecules don't mix. You are around all 70-degree vibration when you pass. Okay? Now, the nice thing is you're not set there. It's just who you are. Where's your vibration? So the question is, on this lifespan here, did you nudge yourself and let yourself go and rise in your vibration through loving and accepting yourself and everything around you? That's how you let go. Letting go is what you rise to the top. You don't earn your way to a higher vibration, a higher love of yourself. But this is the time when you can jump a whole lot. You can say, oh, I like that 70-degree molecule vibration. I'm going to do that. So you have a chance here to really jump around and say, I'm going to climb way up. So it's a good opportunity to really let it go. Let the money go, the responsibility to other people, the fear. Totally let the fear go. What? That just drags you down. That is your biggest anchor. There's nothing to be afraid of. If you die, you're just going to pop up and you're going to be in your dreamland right at the vibration where you were. If your vibration is very fear and nasty and ugly and everything's out to get you, yeah, your dreams are going to be kind of nasty, ugly, and out to get you too. And that's not good. So that's like hell. Why do you want that? No one sends you there. So how do I get you to not choose hell? Forgive yourself. I don't forgive you. Forgive yourself for all those things you think you've done wrong that are keeping you from going to the blissful place that you think you deserve to go to after you die. We're out of time. Sorry to leave it at that point. But anyway, love on yourself. Let it go. Let the problems go. Let the problems have you if they want. Let the virus have you if it wants. Just stop grabbing on and saying, who's doing this to us? Nobody's doing anything to us. We're here to experience something. We're going back to a blissful place after we're done here, and we're going to try this all again. But you got an opportunity while you're here. Rise up, look around, find out who's pulling you up, and what vibration do you really want to rise to? Who do you want to be? Anyway, sorry for the overtime. Thanks, guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.